This is Mike Fitz from the rock band Bad Marriage, and this is
Tommy Skeoch.
and you're listening to We Go to
Heaven.
Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
These go to 11.
Tommy, I've been talking to Mike here about the band and stuff like that. I think we were talking about Ron and his passion for all the bands that he has on the roster. I was just saying to him that I have a buddy that refers to him as like a car salesman, which it's kind of true. I mean, he's passionate about what he's selling. So I mean, I've seen some car salesmen that like to push, like, I don't know, whatever, Ford F-150s or whatever, and that's their passion. But
we love Ron.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. I enjoy chatting with him, and I enjoy and I enjoy, listening to the bands on his roster, because I think he's pretty selective even as far as who he brings on board, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that's why we're there.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So, okay. So I was just asking Mike a little bit about how you came together. I've been following Bad Marriage for a little bit, a fan of them. But then you were doing Resist and Bite, which actually caught on the Monsters of Rock cruise. And I think you hit the midnight show. So I was like, for me, being a West Coast guy, doing a midnight show was like a 9 o'clock show. So, I mean, no big deal. Caught that. I mean, you had Ed Trunk was geeked about seeing you guys, and he was there. That went away. But then you resurfaced with Bad Marriage. And I was like, how did this all come together, you guys?
Yeah, well, the Resist and Bite thing fell apart, but Mike just happened. We had happened to meet each other when Resist and Bite played on the boat thing you're talking about, and we became friends. And when that was falling apart, he was there, and he said, "Hey man, why don't you come over?" And we had done a song by then too. He had sent me some music, and we were kind of working on music. And just as friends, not a big deal, but maybe a guest appearance on a record or something. And next thing I know, my band's falling apart, and he's going, "Dude, why don't you come over and jam with us?" And that's kind of what happened.
Yeah, man, we had a tour coming up, and I'd met Tommy, like he said. Bad Marriage was playing the Monsters of Rock cruise too.
Right.
Bad Marriage has a pretty extensive history with Tesla, his old band. We did some major touring with them. We were fortunate to be a support slot for many years on different tours with them. So it's just funny how I've come full circle with the Tesla, the original Tesla band, because I went right up to Tommy at the cruise. I'm like, "Hey man, I'm Fitz, and here's what we do." And he's like, "Oh yeah, man, I saw your set, and I dig what you guys do." And we became buddies, like he said. And we had a tour coming up with Enuff's Enuff and the Quireboys. And that was when I just said, "You know what? I'm going to ask Tommy if he wants to jump on, no pressure, no stress, but as a third guitar player, and just kind of jump in a van kind of thing, and do a ton of dates and with very little pay." And, that was his first test he passed. He was like, "Hell yeah, I'll do it." So he's been with us ever since, and he's been a blessing. It's really added to our arsenal of rock, so it's been cool.
It is interesting because, like you had mentioned, that was the first time I caught Bad Marriage. Obviously, caught Resist and Bite
on the boat.
On that particular cruise, but haven't seen this. So, what can we expect in the live setting? And then we'll get into the record, because I really enjoyed it.
We lay it out, man. We get up there, 5 guys, and really kind of lay it out, man. We're a rock and roll band, man. And with me there, there's kind of some, there's a lot of shrapnel flying around in between the vocals, and it's a lot of fun, man. We're a rock and roll band. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Tommy. We've always been a no bullshit band. We're just a straight up, hard hitting, loud, fun. We're just and every member loves what they're doing, and that's it's a hard thing to get 5 people on the same page, with what we're doing. And I feel that we have that, and it shows. People know, and that's what draws people to bands like us. I think that's how we gain our fans, is they see how we're passionate on stage, off stage, and it's a reciprocal thing. So, we're just loud and proud, and we love that. We're old school guitar players, big guitar rock, and we just crank it up and go.
Nice.
Daddy wants to fuck.
No swearing, Tom.
Oh, that's
No
fine. We're all adults here.
No, I'm just messing off.
I know, but here's the thing, and this kind of ties in with the record too, because you guys did a record officially together.
Right.
I think Tommy's been in the band for a couple years now.
Yeah.
So I think there's a little bit of check your ego at the door a little bit, especially for the band Bad Marriage, because that's a huge risk, having a well-established fellow come into the band, because I think, a little bit of the insecurities, I would imagine it's like, okay, we let this guy in, he's great, but is he going to take over the band? And what happened?
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, the
Hell
egos that
yeah.
happen.
Those were
how do you-
my thoughts exactly.
So how
coming
do you-
in, man? I tried hard.
So
Didn't work out.
how do you guys balance that? Because that you got to make it work, and it sounds like it's working. I mean, I hear it on the record. I see this right here as you guys are getting interviewed collaboratively, and it's working pretty well.
Well, yeah, let's start here. We didn't just, when I became friends with him, I just didn't say, hey, let's see if we'll join the band now. Like, that wasn't even a thought. I just was happy to know the guy. Like I said, I know all the other people in Tesla. I was happy to meet Tommy. Happy to be friends with him. I posted a riff on Facebook one day, of one of our new song ideas. It actually ended up being the song called Dangerous that is on the record. He reached out to me saying, hey, oh, dude, that's a badass riff, and I said, dude, there's no leads or solos on it. It's just the foundation of a song. If you want to write it with me and add some stuff to it, whatever, I go, that would be a blast. And that was supposed to just be that. It was supposed to just be fun. And, but the more I got to know Tommy, I said, this guy might want to be, a part of this thing. And let's just see. So that tour I mentioned, we had a tour coming up when his band was kind of dissolving or imploding or whatever. We had a tour coming up with Enuff's Enuff and the Quireboys, both great bands, great friends of ours. They were taking Bad Marriage on the road, and I said, Tommy, you want to join us, I thought he'd be like, dude, I can't do that. But he said, yeah. And, I think a lot of it is the fact that me and Tommy were friends. It was at least a year, and we were talking
a while. Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't something that I just had a knee jerk reaction and said, oh, he's my buddy now, he's going to join want to join the band. It was pretty thought out. So, we had a good idea of who Tommy was. And I think he liked us too. And there was some trust involved, and, it was a timing thing for him. He says it all the time, and he was going through a time where he was psyched about the band that he was in, and the fact that we were there, that he could jump into something else, it helped him a lot. And it's been pretty badass. So
nice.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into the record. Match Made in Hell.
Mhm.
Friday the 13th. So it was out on Friday the 13th. And as I was mentioning to Mike, I mean, record showed up on time, which I was geeked about. Although
that's cool.
I had already heard it, so I already knew I liked the damn thing.
Right.
But it's so cool to open it up, peel the cellophane off the damn thing, and then pop it into your stereo, just the old school way. I'm
Hell
not
yeah.
a vinyl guy myself anymore, because then you have to go back and, replace certain things. So I'm sticking with what I know. And right now I know CD, and I got CDs, and that's what I'm going with. But Friday the 13th, lots of killer tunes on there. Obviously the title
Thank
track.
you.
Rock and Roll, Alien. I mean, come on. Rock and Roll Mofo. I mean, I think that kind of sums up the record. It's just a lot of rock and roll, right? I mean,
Right.
so let's get into the record a little bit, as far as how that worked in terms of you guys collaborating together.
Yeah.
How you worked the guitar work and the lyrics and all that good stuff. So
Yeah. While you brought it up, Rock and Roll, Alien, and Mofo, Rock and Roll Mofo was Tommy had that song already written on one of his solo albums, and we kind of took it and he let us rearrange it a little bit and just put our Bad Marriage stamp on it. You know, we kind of I think we just added our sound to it, and I think it fits really well, and it's a super fun novelty song that people really like. So we're glad that we could, take Tommy, one of his old solo songs, and put Bad Marriage on it. And
Right.
so Rock and Roll Alien was somewhat similar. Tommy had
Yeah.
all the music, the riffs and stuff written out for that, and he let me kind of just go wild with. I wrote the lyrics and the vocal melody for that one, and it's just a fun. They're both super fun songs, and they're getting a great feedback.
Yeah.
As far as the record, though, again, a lot of this was done as I do a lot of the recording here, right? I do the recording, the mixing, the mastering, and all of that stuff, and I love doing that. That being said, before Tommy was in the band, we had a good grip on this new record. We were gonna put it out. So obviously, when he joined, we wanted to let him put his magic on all the songs that we already thought were almost done, and he gave them like a big breath of fresh air with his guitar playing. So there were like brand new songs to us almost, so that was cool. Then again, we brought those two other ones that I mentioned to you, and then we wrote some. Another one he had was "Ashamed to Be Human." That was another song that was his, that we were he was writing, and we embraced it, and we love that one too. And and we wrote a couple together, like "Choking" and Victims, and House of Cards, and so there was a chunk of it that was done, and then with the addition of Tommy, we kind of got creative, so it was fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Any additional thoughts on that, Tom?
Well, I mean, I'll tell you what, I had such a good time doing this, because I was just getting to rip leads like left and wrong. It was really fun, man. And I love doing that, and I've also, my playing's kind of evolved to where I don't, nitpick as much about it. And that's probably better for guys like Mike, because they don't have to sit there and roll their eyes and go, fuck again,
Yeah.
I'm able to do it in a couple of takes for the most part. Or sometimes I get into that rabbit hole a little bit, but I try not to. And I'm glad I do that, because I feel like the tracks I'm doing on records nowadays really have a lot of feeling, just for that reason. So it's fun, man. I love it. And I love the lyrics we got. I love the attitude of this record, and that it's all fucking just rocking, man. There's not a ballad. There's not really a slow kind of, I mean, there might be a lower, like Victims has got a slower tempo, but it's fucking brutal, so yeah.
Totally.
I mean, I guess listening to the album from a fan's perspective, I mean, I think you could perform the entire record, and I don't think anybody would be disappointed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Right?
And
Yeah. Thank you for
I
that.
agree.
Yeah.
And I was saying on an interview, an hour ago, that what we're really excited about with this is all the feedback we've been getting already, is
Been
people
great.
are digging different songs. Like it's
Yeah.
not just everybody's favorite is Match Made in Hell. And
Right.
so hearing all these different songs that people, that's when we know we got something special, because
Lovely.
we put a lot of love into it. So to hear all that feedback and different songs is super cool.
And what's the thoughts? I mean, how much of this record do you guys plan on performing? Because I know, there's the back catalog, some older material and stuff.
We've
like
been
that.
performing some of it actually for
Okay.
the last year.
I mean,
After
I mean, we're at least doing 6 or 7. I mean,
Oh, geez. Nice.
it depends on, if we're headlining or we're opening or we're in a middle support. It just all depends on how long we have that particular night. If we have 45 minutes, we can do,
break out some shit, man.
yeah, if we have 90 minutes, then we can really do a lot of stuff. If we only have a half hour, we gotta, but it's a good problem to have a catalog, and that's really fun, because we can change it up night after night, and our fans really like that.
Right. No, I mean that's awesome that you can do, or you've been performing up to 6 new tunes, because
Oh
that's
yeah,
almost
easily.
unheard of. That's almost
Yeah.
unheard of. I mean, anymore you go see a band and they do 1 or 2 new songs and the rest is like the older stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys treating this like a fresh start, I guess? I mean, what do you
Well,
guys think?
I think that's part of the reason why some of those songs are being played earlier, because
Okay.
it's like I'm there, you know.
Mhm.
It's just it is a little bit of a different. I wouldn't say you'd have to
It's like
ask
a
Mike. I don't think
reboot.
it's a fresh start, but
Yeah,
I
it's like a
think it's
reboot, huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It should, yeah, it's just, again, the addition of Tommy, it just, it's reinvigorating for
Mhm.
the bad marriage guys that we've been going on 10 plus years, right? So you get a guy like Tommy in the band and you get excited again. So yeah, if you want to call it a reboot, I'm not disagreeing with that, but at the end of the day, we all are on the same page, and
Mhm.
we're excited about just writing songs, performing them, and just
Rocking.
yeah, just rocking. And so it's all been good.
So what's the game plan? I know you guys are scheduled. You guys are going to appear on that Monster.
Yeah, the
What is it?
Mountain
Mountain
Monster Music
Festival.
Festival, right? It used to be Monsters on the Mountain, which is associated with Monsters of Rock
Yep.
Cruise. But
Yep.
that's huge for you guys. I think that's definitely going
Great.
to earn you guys some more fans. But prior to that, I mean, what's kind of the game plan? Do you guys have anything you're lining up? And
Well, yeah, of course.
Mhm.
We just did get off a 2-week tour. We did 10 dates in 11 days a couple weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
And so, that was our first kind of uh, you know, get out there on the new record tour, on the Match Made in Hell tour. So that was the first of hopefully many. We plan to be very
Mhm.
busy
We're gonna try
this
and
year.
go everywhere, man. We
Yeah.
really want to try and get out to the West Coast
No
and just
kidding.
get to some
I,
place.
I agree.
Yeah, you know.
To touch
Yeah.
on the Mountain Festival, though, that's actually going to be our third time playing that festival.
Jeez,
So
that's awesome.
so it's yeah. Number one, we're psyched that they're having us back.
Right.
That's something that's to be said, is just to be on a lineup with such
Mhm.
incredible legacy bands, as
Sure.
they call it, I guess.
Yeah.
We're an up and coming band, so to be alongside of that is really cool. So yeah, it's our third time that they're having us play twice. And Gatlinburg is a great place. It's just a great
Fun.
time.
Yeah.
Nice.
We do have some stuff coming up this summer and in the fall. It's just not confirmed yet.
Yeah.
So I gotta be careful with that. In
All
case, But look, the point is to really promote this record, and the
Mhm.
best way to do that is to be playing shows
Yeah.
and be out there, and it's not easy to do, but we're gonna do it, and we love doing it. So yeah, we plan to be busy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you guys have done any stuff with Buck Cherry, but I immediately think, that would be a great band to pair
Here
you
we
guys up
go.
with. And it's
Here
like,
we go.
whoa.
No,
That's
that's
funny.
funny
We
you
we
mentioned
we
that.
have we have we did a 12 right before Tommy joined.
Yeah.
We did a 12 show tour with them.
Yeah.
So we're very friendly with those guys.
Man.
Billy, their guitar, one of their
Mhm.
guitar players, just made me and Tommy get 2 guitars that we love. So I'm friends with Francis, their drummer. He's an
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, they're a great band, and that is one of the bands on our radar that we love to
Fuck.
go back out
That
and do some dates
Yeah.
with. So
I mean, that would be incredible. I think that would
Yeah.
be
yeah,
It would.
yeah.
I mean, that would be mind-blowing, I think, for the fans, because of their catalog, this strong record that you guys have
Mhm.
together, the
Hell
addition of
yeah.
Tommy. Oh
Yeah,
my
and-
God.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Hell
and
yeah.
again, we already did it, and if we get to go do it again with them, and with Tommy in our band, I think it would be kick ass. So we'll
Yeah.
see.
Will be.
Absolutely. Wow. Awesome. So any plans for any more videos, I guess? I mean, I'm
Yeah,
sure there's
oh, yeah.
probably plans, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Totally. I mean, as far as like a hard date, I can't give you, but we are getting awesome feedback about the Match Made in Hell video we just released.
Mhm.
People are loving it, and yeah, I mean, I think it's very important. I do. I think having videos these days, anything that any content that can keep the viewer or the listener, engaged is good. So yeah, we have to. We'd be shooting ourselves in the foot if we didn't keep putting out, kick-ass videos.
Yeah, right. Nice. Well, I know kind of only have a few more minutes, but I want to squeeze this in because this is going to be for We Go to 11. As you know, that's a Spinal Tap reference.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Sure.
and I'm sure you guys have a Spinal Tap-esque type story you can share. And I know this guy, Tommy's probably got like, hundreds, but we're going to have to whittle it down to just one. So I don't know who wants to go first about sharing a Spinal Tap-esque story. Maybe Mike, or I don't know if Tommy wants to go first, but that's how we wind things down. But, we talked about the record, we talked about the videos, the songwriting, the addition of this guy here to the band, some potential more touring down the way,
Right.
Mountain Music Festival. This will be your third time there. I think first time with this guy back on in the band. So
Second time. I
second
was
time.
there
Oh,
with
you were there the
second-
first time. Oh, geez. There you go. My mistake. See, I like being proved wrong. But so I don't know who wants to take a shot at
Well-
the Spinal Tap-esque type story.
Well, what one I know that just popped into my head is it was kind of embarrassing. The first, speaking of Buck Cherry, we were somewhere with them. I think it was Idaho, I believe, and and it was an outdoor show, and we got 2 songs in, and the entire and then this place was packed. I'm saying at least 1,000 people outside, and all they wanted to do was rock. And we're just psyched to be there. We know Buck Cherry's coming on next, and the sound, just everything went out, and literally there was no more sound. And we're like, what the hell? And we don't have a sound guy like that we travel with. We're at the mercy of the venue, the club's hired sound guy or whoever. And just nobody was doing anything. And we're all looking around, and this whole crowd's ready to rock. And we're like, what the hell?
Wow, what a drag.
And dude, and it went like 20, 25 minutes, and we only had, I think, a half hour to play.
Oh no.
So we ended up only getting to do, by the time they wrangled it, we only got to do like 3, maybe 4 songs. And it was awful because it was such a great opportunity for us because of the crowd. It's one of those special nights where you just know everyone is there, and the energy was in the air, and we blew it up. We blew the place up, and the sound just totally cut out, and we were screwed. And instead of being all bummed out, my band is everyone's pretty positive. We just we turned it into a party night, and and that was it. But that was one of the most embarrassing, because you're standing around and everyone's looking at each other, and sometimes that stuff just rectifies itself, but this one didn't, and it was basically our entire set, and we got screwed.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Can you top that one, Tommy? I'm sure you probably can.
Oh, I probably could. I mean, I can guarantee you, I have been in so many situations that are just laughable.
Tommy,
and
did you ever
you're just
fall
like,
down?
huh?
Did you ever like fall down on stage, like trying to?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yeah. There was one night. That's a good call. I mean, there was one night I jumped up on the there would be big subs there on the side of the stage. And I jumped up on one of them one night and slipped off and fell right on the ground in the middle of between the crowd and the stage. And that was embarrassing. Yeah. Stuff like that. A lot of stuff I can't really talk about that it would be good to like say, but I probably can't say anything.
You get in trouble.
You're going to
It's too
save that for
hardcore, man.
Yeah, you're going to save that for the book, I think.
Dude,
Tommy.
back in the 80s, man.
I
there was
got to
crazy-
tell you, Tommy, I saw you Tesla and yourself supporting Motley Crue on Dr. Feelgood in Portland,
Oh,
Oregon.
yeah.
There was a point, I think you might have consumed a little bit too much adult beverages, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
punk, and you fell, and you played the solo like on your back or something. Like, I
Oh,
was like,
really?
yeah. But
So
I was like,
you witnessed the.
I
fuckery,
witnessed.
Yeah.
I witnessed.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I fell a lot then. There you go.
Yeah. Well,
Tommy,
that was
Tommy, did you have a cast on one time? Was it the
Yeah.
87? Was it the Texas Jam or something? How did you get the cast?
Texas Jam. Yeah. No, Texas Jam. Yeah, I had a cast. I don't know. And then there was another time that I had it too later on when I fucked my knee up. But yeah, that happened too. Yeah.
Didn't you say you jumped in like a waterfall, like some sort of thing? I thought.
No, that was C.C. DeVille did that. I'm trying to think of what happened. Because one time I fucked up my ankle, and that was the Texas Jam. But then there was another time I got in a jet ski accident,
Oh,
and Rick, my knee was fucked up, and we were in the middle of taking a break from touring, and I went on tour with this. Brian would wheel me out in a wheelchair just for fun and shit like that.
Yeah. That's funny.
Well, I'm sure those will all turn up in the book if you ever decide to do a book.
Oh boy, I don't know about that book action. I can't write a book. There's just too much. I don't want to be incriminated.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, Tommy, we'll get the book going. Trust me.
He'll help you do the book.
Man.
Hey, you guys, this was a blast. So record,
Thank you.
band is Bad Marriage. Record is Match Made in Hell. It
Hell.
was out released on Friday the 13th on RFK Media, which go find it. Great record, solid.
Thank you.
It's gonna be at least the top 5 for me, I think, by the end of the year for sure.
Sweet.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed for a Buck Cherry tour for you guys.
We are too.
That would be fun.
We are too.
Hey, thanks so much, you guys. It was a blast. I hope to see
Thank you, man.
Definitely hope to see you guys in Portland, Oregon. I will be there. I will say hello.
Man,
And-
really appreciate the kind words. And I'm just so glad you dig it, man. That's awesome.
Definitely. All right,
All
you
right.
guys. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Tommy.
right.
It was
All
a
right,
blast.
everybody.
We'll get you a link. Thank you so
All right,
much.
buddy.
Right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Peace.